Hear birds. Well, hello, fellow addicts. Welcome back to Addicts Live, the most informative tapped out podcast out there, where we finally have something entertaining to talk about. I'm Melissa, your resident head addict, and my co-hosts this week are the vandalize all you want, cranky old guy, Patrick.
In low def. So I understand from some people that the high def version that was coming through the iPad last week was too deaf. It was completely too deaf. So I'm now low def once again. You can hear me better, and I don't look quite as crisp. So that's good.
Well, the blurry, I should have said the low D. Yeah, that would have been better.
The low def.
And the representing all things Great White North, except, of course, Celine Dion, the bracket battle master himself, Super Safi.
Good morning. Hope everyone's ready to rumble with this bracket battle.
And here's where I add the regular reminder that this show is meant to be interactive. So join the fun by sharing your questions and comments below us here. Guys, have we stumbled into some alternate universe where we podcast on a weekly basis?
No.
Is that what we're doing?
I can tell you emphatically, no, we have
not. No. We're just excited that new content is in TSTO. So we're back again this week to bring you Simpsons news and Saturday Smiles, even though Patrick and I were here last week. But, hopefully we have a little more entertainment to talk about. So
this is more of a math thing, actually. It's like we looked at the calendars and said, oh, if we don't do it this week, we might not do it for another 9 weeks or something. So,
well, next week is Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day weekend. So, which is, at least in America, a popular time to start your summer, quote unquote. In my house, it's popular time to do yard work. So it's a little hectic trying to get everything in next week. So we figured, why not this week? So for those
something to talk about.
Exactly. Well, we wanted to make sure we talked about this update, and we knew next week wasn't going to happen. And 3 weeks from now, who knows what's going on. So for those watching this live, you'll notice that there is no poll question this week and no thought-provoking question either. We do have Saturday trivia up, which we posted earlier today. It's based on the episode The Daughter Also Rises, which is where the needle exchange is from. But honestly, we're hopping onto the show this week to really talk about the new mini event and what it means and what's going on and all that fun stuff. It's been so long since we had new content in TSTO, so we wanted to make sure we were here to discuss it with everyone. And maybe, just maybe, since we were all here, well, since Patrick and I were here last week, we'll be able to keep this show to 30 minutes. We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see. Listen.
My thoughts are that the event is going really well, and then it's
all right, bye guys. See ya. So do you guys want to play trivia?
Yes.
Do you really?
I really do. I'm ready.
I think Patrick watched the episode. I gave him a heads up.
Aha.
Oh.
All right, let me
this might be the week that Patrick dethrones me.
I thought Patrick was going to say no, so I didn't have trivia ready.
Oh. Well,
I was going to say no because I don't remember that episode.
I had to hunt it down. I have to admit, it was a little challenging because my FXXXXX, whatever that thing is, still doesn't work. Yeah, it does. Still has stopped working for whatever reason. So I have to go and read or watch the YouTube versions, which to get around copyright, I guess they do backwards. Yeah. So there was a couple of those that I had to freeze frame, put into Photoshop, and then reverse it so I could read what it said. It was great. That's dedication. I want you to know that's the kind of dedication I have to winning.
Patrick wants to play trivia because not only did he watch the episode, but he did extra credit work. So
That's right. Oh, a gold star.
All right. So these are true or false questions. For those watching, you can play along trivia. I didn't add it to this thread because I honestly thought Pat was going to say no, he didn't want to play trivia. So the post behind us, so you can play along if you haven't already. I think it's 7 questions this week. When I watch the episode, when I write the trivia, I tend to have more questions, come up with more questions. When I'm just doing it from memory and pulling from the book of Simpsons, it's like, okay, 5 questions, that's it. So true or false? This episode was the 500th episode of The Simpsons.
So knowing that I watched this, and I'm probably going to ace it, I think we need to go to Safi first.
Oh, no.
On these. Yes, this is the only way to do this. Okay, I want Safi first. That's right.
I believe that, yes, it was the 500th episode. True.
Patrick?
$4.99. In fact, I had a whole bit where they did the math and backed it up. It was $4.99. I'm so happy with it right now.
It is false. It was episode 499.
Oh, this is going to be a very good day. I can feel it.
I was counting the movie as one episode, though. So
yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Waffling already. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So acting as the true or false, acting as myth crackers, Bart and Milhouse confirm that a cell phone in use at a gas station is dangerous, and Milhouse still isn't cool.
I'm gonna go with true.
Pat?
That is true. And Mythbusters was one of my favorite shows of all time. I was so bummed when they took it off the air. That show was hilarious, and they actually had those two guys as the guest stars on that episode. It was hilarious. True.
That's correct. I don't even need to. I just have to read the questions. Apparently.
That's right.
All right. Lisa and Nick have a meet cute moment when Nick is reading a book by Geoffrey Chaucer.
False.
Why is it false?
Well,
because he was
true or false. Gee,
reciting poetry, and she looks at him through a crack in the restaurant. No,
that's right.
It's very good. No, but it was Hemingway actually. It was, and it was in fact Farewell to Arms, and that's the one I had to freeze frame and put into Photoshop and flip. It's like that doesn't look like Chaucer. I don't know what that is.
I think Pat gets 2 points for that one.
Maybe.
I will tell you, Hemingway is a theme throughout this episode.
Correct.
So it's a big part. Okay. True or false? At the needle exchange, Jerry offers for Marge to borrow one of her twins when Lisa doesn't show.
True.
That is true. And for a bonus point, though, I'm going to give this to you. What's the second sign they show after they show the needle exchange? What's the one right below it?
It was King Tooks. King Tokes.
No.
Oh, sorry, under the needle exchange. Oh, geez.
Come on, you can do this.
It's in the game, I think.
I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, it's We Fix Scissors. So anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay, that was good.
Okay.
I feel pretty good about this. I just be honest with you. I think the lesson here, folks, is to actually watch the episode. That would be like I haven't done in the past. Go ahead.
I've seen the episode, but what, like 12 years ago?
In the future, I won't be telling Patrick what episode we're doing.
Oh!
All right. Nick asks Marge and Homer if he can take Lisa to the Pringles nutrition fair in the school gym.
The Pringles nutrition fair. I'm going to go with false.
Okay.
He's just running the odds now. No, it was wrong. It was the Doritos nutrition fair. Yeah.
That's correct. Now, Pat was a little late to join me this morning. Usually Pat's here about 20 minutes or so before the show. So either he was taking this quiz, or he was watching the episode, and that's why he was late.
No, I can show you the timestamp on my notes. It was yesterday.
I was sleeping.
Yeah.
All right. Grandpa Simpson, true or false? Grandpa Simpson is wanted for grand theft retirement home when he takes the remote out of the retirement castle.
True.
That is true. Yes.
That
He's
is
also
true.
driving the stolen retirement home or bus.
But that wasn't Wiggum's concern.
That's right.
Because
it was a shuttle pod.
Because the show, because the channel at the retirement home was stuck on what?
Oh, I didn't catch that. I don't know.
Was it a Spanish salsa dancing type thing?
It was a Spanish version of, I believe, Maury Povich.
What?
And
Maury Povich.
Oh.
And what's his face? The old man with the pen,
Jasper?
old Jewish man. No, old Jewish
Oh.
man's. It's all in Spanish.
I remember the Spanish. Yeah.
All right. Last question. Lisa and Nick kiss on Mulberry Island under the mulberry tree. True or false?
False.
False. Yeah, they don't kiss.
They get there, but she backs out.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's where the whole Hemingway thing comes in. His ex-wives come and talk her out of it, basically saying that men aren't worth it. So it was great. You know, Safi, you did pretty darn well. I'm really pretty impressed. You didn't do bad. But yes,
Pat was just
All
tired.
hail Pat.
I did.
All hail old cranky guy.
I did my homework. That's all. I actually did my homework. It's kind of like college when I wanted to actually pass a midterm and I hadn't been to class all term. I actually went and read the book. You know, it's like that kind of thing. So.
Oh yeah, you know.
Did I do 6 out of 7?
I think
I did
so.
6
Yeah.
out of 7. Yeah, 6
so.
out of 7. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Not too
Pretty
shabby.
good.
Not too shabby for just waking up. So.
But not as good as Pat.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I have a thought-provoking question on this post? Sorry, guys. I'm losing. No, that's sorry. Losing my mind. Okay.
I guess with old age comes wisdom, right? So
No.
With old age comes forgetting things.
I think we've just proven why we can't do back-to-back episodes. It takes us way more than a week to prep here. Did I have a thought-provoking question?
Well, it also doesn't help that, you know, I had 2 screaming children most of the morning. So, all right.
How did they taste? Sorry.
Our jokes also get cheesier.
Right. It's a dad joke.
So let's talk about the mini event. We did receive finally. We got the little teaser from Matt Selman that said an update's hitting on Tuesday. Everybody freaked out because an update didn't actually hit your games. There was no content to play on Tuesday. It went live Wednesday, but we did technically get an update on Tuesday, which was the Real Moms of TSTO, the Real Moms of Springfield mini event. Standard mini event. You know, you follow a quest line, unlock prizes, 1 premium item. Sometimes there's 2. This time there was 1 combo. And, you know, the prizes are pretty good. So what are your overall thoughts on the mini event after 2 months of waiting for a content update?
I think it's hilarious because what's happened clearly is that they've proven that those of us that play TSTO are stuck in some kind of a time warp vortex, because this episode clearly was supposed to be out 4 weeks ago. Because
4 weeks
it would have been
maybe 2 weeks, let's say, but yeah.
maybe a week.
No, it's to the 29th. I mean, if you go, usually they release it before the actual holiday so that it's the holiday happens somewhere in the middle. So I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. It proves that they were actually working on something.
Mother's Day was last week.
Yeah, exactly. So
but it could have ended 2 weeks before, or at right on Mother's Day or somewhere in the middle. So it's at least 2 weeks late.
My money's on it was like it was a week late. I confused the old guy.
Where am I? Who am I? What time am I?
Did you take a remote? Is there a remote in your pocket? Is the TV stuck on Maury Povich?
In Spanish, in Espanol, señor.
So there you go. No.
Anyway, back to your train of thought. I'm sorry.
No, the train of thought is I think it's clear that they were really trying to fix that whoever guessed, one of our myriad players, readers that guessed they were trying to fix some of the problems they had was actually correct. So all of you now can chime in. Oh, you're going to go with that now? You're going to claim that? Okay, fine. I don't care. You're the boss. You can do what you want. But there was a lot of speculation, and they really were trying to fix the Kindle mess and some of the Zoom problems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They did a pretty good job of fixing it. They didn't go back. You know, again, this is that whole thing where you can't go back 18 versions of a device at this point in the world. People are just going to have to start wising up to the fact that you have to buy new devices at some point. You can't just expect something you bought 6 years ago to keep working. So I hate to say that.
Are you making fun of my Windows 98?
No, Windows 95.
Yeah, now I've got the fact the computer I'm using here stopped actually working very well for this kind of an update because they did the last security update and they're no longer going to support Windows 7, which I have on this computer. So it's like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be fun. I have to try and figure out how to migrate. Yeah, exactly.
Steph, what are your thoughts?
I don't know if they had it planned really far in advance. I feel like they stole it from me because week 1 of the bracket battle had Mama Prince, had Mama McElberry, had the needle exchange. So I'm going to take credit for it and say that it was all me.
I think you should.
But ironically, all 3 of those items lost in week 1. So readers didn't really want this stuff, apparently.
Well, I think they put it in the event so that because they lost, they knew you weren't going to have to update your brackets. So
maybe, yes. Thank you, EA.
How sweet.
Saves you a little time.
Oh, sweet.
No, but I'm really excited with the prize content, and it's a standard mini event, but it's a standard mini event with good content because we've had some mini events where the content was a little lame.
Classless reunion for one.
But this is up there with some of the better ones, Amber Dempsey and the Cheddar Barrel Farms, and yeah, I really like the content.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 new. This event brought us 2 new, and I'm saying the word event, and I know some people are going to jump on me because this isn't an event. Sorry, guys. I'm saying event, mini event in this context. So please send all your complaints to tstopatrick@gmail.com.
I'm just gonna keep sending the same reply. Lowered expectations.
Either that or one of these days he's just gonna write back, bite me.
Well, that usually happens first, but yeah.
So with this event, we got 2 new female characters, 2 new full female characters, which means 2 more children in Springfield are no longer orphans, which is always nice. I hate seeing children walk around as orphans. And 2, it adds to the female count in our town, which is something that has always been a little lacking. They seem to be upping it in the last year or so. They've been adding more and more female characters.
Gee, I wonder why.
If you look at the context of male characters, the female characters, and I'm not looking at this as a context of like women should be just as equal as men in Springfield. No, I'm just saying like the importance of female characters in the show. It's amazing how little minor male characters have entered the game, but these bigger female characters have not. So it's nice to see that they're finally getting put into the game, in my opinion anyway. So
I just want to do a math correction, sorry. So technically it'd be 3 kids with orphans because it's Sherry and Terry and Martin. So sorry, continue.
Wow.
The math magician in me was really disappointed.
Listen, Sherry and Terry act as one. So they're 1. In this game,
to correct your math, if you watched that episode, if you had watched that episode carefully, you saw that at one
3.
point they turned into triplets. That's right.
I remember that scene. That was great.
It was great. Yeah.
So it's nice to see that. Also, this also brings our character count up to, I think it was 408 characters now, which is a lot of characters for this game. Now, Springfield has a ton of characters. We've talked about this over the years, how many characters in the show that can be added to the game that have not been added yet. Just simple one-off characters, more canon characters, and things like that. But it's impressive to me that playing this game, 7 years, this game has been on the App Store. Well, it was on the App Store. It was downloadable. People could have played it for the last 7 years. It did take a little hiatus. That there's 408 characters. So over 7 years, 408 characters. Safi, how many characters is that per year?
700 divided by 408, you're looking at 30. Oh, geez. No, not 30. Sorry. 58, 57.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
So yeah,
and yet I beat him. I beat him today in the trivia. I just want you to know that.
You did that.
So yeah,
it's
nice to see that they're continuing to add full characters to the game. 408 characters is a lot. We also get a new skin, Jake Boyman, which I am impressed with in the sense that, and you guys will hear this when I do the audio for this event post, but Jake has his own dialogue quotes, which is nice because a lot of times characters have skins. They say the same thing that the existing character says. So like Devil Flanders says exactly what Flanders would say. Ice Cream Man Homer says what Homer would say, like that kind of a thing. So it's nice to see. And obviously they have to do that because I think if you heard Jake Boyman say great, like Lisa says great, it'd be a little weird, but it's nice to see that they put that extra thought into it that gave them the voices that my phone's blowing up today, guys. Gave them the voices of their actual character, what that costume character says in the show. I like that. And so a lot of people probably haven't unlocked Jake yet, so you're not aware of that, but you'll see. So
something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's nice. Well, you can also go and you can preview the audio post I wrote. So it'll be good if you do that. So anyway, what are our thoughts on one of the prize track prizes is Nana Sophie and Mona, which originally were 2 prizes that were won. Mona came from Valentine's Day 2015, I want to say. And Nana Sophie was on the prize track for Springfield Jobs.
Around the world?
I think it was Springfield Jobs. So if you already have them, you unlock them as a prize originally, you would get a land token. So what are our thoughts as far as them bringing those 2 characters back as prizes instead of premium offerings on the prize track? This is the first time I feel like I've seen them bring back a returning character on a prize track before.
Doesn't bother me. It's one of those things where I've had the character long enough. I got the benefit of having it. Mona has pretty much unrelentlessly been feeding pigeons to the black hole with Grandpa in my town forever. Unless once in a while she'll escape, I'll miss her. I'll hit the wrong thing and she'll escape, but I always get her back. But no, I don't feel remotely cheated or whatever. I just think that's all silly. I'm glad to see the characters in the game for those people that didn't have them. I think they're good characters. I'm not going to jump ahead. I'm really trying to be good today. I'm not going to jump ahead on the prize on your show notes about Moss Buckler. So I'll wait for you to ask that question.
Oh, thanks.
But I feel pretty good. I feel fine. I don't think it's some kind of a big ripoff for anybody that paid premium donuts, because most of us, again, we're farming the donuts anyway.
Well, the way I look at it too is they originally were prizes. They were not originally premium items. It's very rare that you see a original premium item. So like Luann, for example, who originally was a premium item, it's very rare that you would see her come back as a free item, something you go buy with cash or something you can get in a prize track. Yeah. So I still don't think that's ever happened. These 2 originally were prizes. So anybody that's getting upset are likely people that had purchased them in a mystery box or when they came back as a premium offering at some point or another. But even then, you probably didn't pay a ton of donuts for them to begin with. So there's no issue, at least to me, semantics-wise, that they're back in the prize track because they originally were both prizes. They were free. I didn't pay for them. I got them. I won them as a prize.
Yeah, they weren't combos either. So you're right. If you did have to buy them, you didn't pay very much. The other thing is too, the yearbook has, as far as I'm concerned, thrown all of the shackles off the whole "it's not fair" thing. You can get whatever you want to get. Period. Just stop whining, please. So. My new theme this week. Yeah, this week. That's my new theme. Please stop whining.
So I think it would be great if everybody on this site sent Patrick a bottle of wine.
I don't like wine. My wife, however, would love that.
And just bombard him with wine. I mean, even if it's $2 Chuck from Trader Joe's, just let's bombard him.
My wife doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's a teacher. She needs that wine.
No, I agree. I mean, for the sake of brevity, I'll just say exactly what Pat said. Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all.
Daffy's all about speed right now.
Well, you said 30 minutes. I'm trying to help.
Too late. We just passed.
Well, not quite. We still got like
not
3
really.
minutes.
We started a bit late.
3 minutes? Okay, all right.
I had slept in a bit.
But,
all right, goodbye.
Peace out, guys. No, all right. So let's talk about Moss Buckler. You guys can tell it's been a while. First of all, we did a show last week that was more organized because we had more time to prepare. But also, it's been a while since we've had content to talk about, so we're a little all over the place.
There we go.
So let's talk about Moss Buckler. Moss Buckler originally was purchasable for cash, like real life cash that comes out of your pocket, or virtual cash that is in your Play Store or App Store. And now she's available for donuts. However, I caution everybody, because I know a lot of people have gotten upset about this when they see like Svengali come back, and I think there was somebody else that came back. When you purchase Moss Buckler, you also purchase donuts. So basically what you did was you purchased a pack of donuts. I think Ma was a truckload of donuts. I think if she was $20, I think.
Sure.
So you purchased a truckload of donuts. You paid the $20. You received those donuts as a added bonus. You also unlocked Moss Buckler, which is kind of like when you go to the grocery store and you spend $200 and you get a free ham. You get the free ham. 2 weeks later, you go back, you spend $200, no ham. So that's kind of how I equate that.
That's exactly correct. I'm going to go. That's exactly correct. And anybody that would actually spend $20 to just get the character is an idiot.
It is frustrating that she comes back as a premium item, because there are players who are like, well, I never buy donuts because I farm donuts, and I purposely went out and bought donuts, and now because I wanted Moss Buckler, and now she's back as a donut. Guys, if you just waited, you could have probably gotten her as a premium item. It's up to you. If you want to wait, you wait. You don't want to wait, you don't want to wait. But EA's not doing anything malicious, because you're still receiving the donuts that you paid for. So that's kind of the way I equate it.
What do you think about all that?
I honestly don't remember her being a cash purchase item. That's why
Itchy and Scratchy Land.
Itchy and Scratchy Land. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I can see how people who spend money might be frustrated, but I really don't think it is justified being frustrated. Like for all the reasons you pointed out, you're buying the donuts with a bonus item, like your 30% extra donuts or whatnot. In this case, characters. Like Pat said, really the purpose of spending money shouldn't be just to get the character. It's for the enjoyment of the character plus the donuts. And so you can't just think, oh, I wasted money. Plus, Itchy and Scratchy Land, for the past year, you've had that character before everyone else. So you're technically, if you want to consider it like that, you're paying your $20 or 32 Canadian. That was the one that came with. You're paying that for the 12 months of enjoyment you've had with the character as well. So
yeah,
because Itchy and Scratchy Land, I think, was a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much content with that whole shift over, from moving over Krusty Land and Itchy Scratchy Land and the zoo and all this. There was so much content. It was really easy to pass on Moss Buckler for me. And so when she came back this time, for what was it, 60 donuts? It wasn't very much.
I think it's 80.
Whatever it was a no-brainer. I had more than enough donuts farmed away. So it's like, boom, done. And she's funny. I do want to reveal one weird, funny thing about timing. And this might have, Safi may be in control of this. I don't know. In some way, shape, and form, Safi may have driven EA to bring the whole family together. I don't know. It's all very confusing to me. I had not bought the twins. I did not buy the twins literally until a week and a half ago. I was in that bored lull time. Those twins creep me out. They're so weird.
You mentioned that before, yeah.
It's just so creepy. They're like the twins from The Shining or something to me. And so I never bought them. And then I was just so bored during the lull. I said, crap, I'll buy them. And then lo and behold, here's Mom. So yeah, I think Safi's driving the truck on this thing somehow. I don't know how. He owns it.
So so I'm just kind of put a bow on everything. Prize track wise, we got the Kitchen Carnival, which really tiny. it's iconic. I mean, it is from an iconic episode, which ironically was our trivia question last week. It was actually one of the trivia questions, because the episode that it was from is the one like Mother's Day themed episode. So that was kind of an iconic thing, but it is tiny. It doesn't really do much. It does play the music, which is fun, but it's, it's a decoration. It's a tiny decoration. It is what it is. And then you've got the Jittery Joes, which is amusing. It's got a fun little animation, and characters do have tasks there. And then you have Jake Boyman. Well, then you have
the land token /
Mona Nana, or the land token. And then you have Jake Boyman, which is a costume for Lisa. And again, it's a fun costume. Some of the animations are really amusing. And again, it's nice that the voice of Jake Boyman is the Jake Boyman voice from the show. So it's fun to see that, the phrases and things like that. Like one of the things says, "My name isn't toilet, it's Jake." So that's fun. So that's something to look forward to. And then the last prize is a full character. Martin's mom comes with a full quest line, full set of tasks, all that stuff. She is not voiced. But so overall, your prize track is pretty strong for a prize track. Compare it to Class's Reunion, where you got decoration, costume. Like, so it's a pretty strong prize track, in my opinion. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts overall about, the Kitchen Carnival, Jittery Joe's, things like that?
Well, you did say you're going to put a bow on it, so I put a bow tie on that I actually had sitting here. I don't know why it was sitting here. Anyway, no, I totally agree with you. There's nothing else to be said. Everything you said is exactly right. So, Saf?
Yeah, no, I said it earlier. Like, price content wise, this is up there with the Cheddar Barrel Farm Amber Dempsey type mini event.
Yeah, it's a good solid mini event. I know a lot of people were hoping it'd be a major event since we've had such a long time between events. Hopefully, they're gearing up for a summer major event. It is nice that they fixed the Amazon issue. I would like to let the record show that I was right when people said EA's customer service told me they weren't going to fix it. They're no longer supporting it. And I said they're full of crap, because they fixed the Zoom issue a million times already on other devices. They're probably just trying to figure out the best way to fix it. So it will get fixed. And lo and behold, it was fixed. So I'm happy it was fixed. It stinks that some of the older devices are no longer supported, but don't forget, if you have a Kindle from 2014, it is now 5 years old. So
yeah.
And I would like the record to show that a couple Addicts Live ago, I said that maybe they'll just do another mini event. So here we go.
Yeah, I really do feel sorry for EA in so many respects, in that trying to keep up with all of the devices and the changes out there right now, because the companies are all competing with one another to be the hottest, bestest, greatest, and they don't tell anybody what's happening on the next revolution of what they're doing. And so it's, for those of us in the development world, thank God I'm almost out of it completely now. But every single time one of these new devices came out, you had to make major tweaks to whatever your regular programming was. It was brutal. So these guys, I mean, considering a game, as we discussed in last week's episode, a game that does not exactly bring in boatloads of money for EA, I'm pretty appreciative of the work they do to keep the thing working for most people. I think it's pretty good.
There's still some bugs that are prevalent. Some Samsung S10 devices cannot log in at all. I wrote about that in my musings post last Thursday. Well, not last Thursday, Thursday. So, if you want to check that out, again, if you're having issues with that, contact EA directly. If they're aware of the problem and they are aware of a solution for the problem, they will fix it. If they're not aware of a solution for the problem, they will work to fix it. As long as it's a new device. If you're talking about like iPad 1, they're not going to fix your iPad 1. Sorry. TSTO is just not going to work.
I mean, this is where the term bleeding edge comes from. If you always have to have the bestest right now, the sooner than anybody else, you're going to live with bugs. You're going to live with problems. That's it, period.
I have an S10 and I don't have the lockout. Knock on wood. And I did the update that was downloaded. I don't know if it's the same update or not, but I had an update. I was terrified to download it. I did it anyway because I have backup devices, quote unquote, and it was fine. So
it may be zone stuff. It could be router stuff. There's so many different things involved here, because the servers for this game are spread all over the place, and the Origin server, which is the one that's having the problem with the login, that is a whole separate ball of wax. It's a whole different gig. So I don't know where the problems are, but clearly it's a singular device, something to do with a zone, something to do with something that's locking out certain people. So I don't know. And it could be a setting on their phone because there's so many new security settings that they don't really tell you about when you first lock in, that you may have something locked into your phone that you don't even know about.
So a big thing I will say is if you're having a problem, contact EA. Whether it's just posting on the forum, not the game forum, the help forum, or calling them or sending them an email. As long as they're aware of the issue, they will work to fix it. But if they're not aware of it and you just come to me to complain, I mean, I try my best to write a post, and sometimes when I write a post, things get fixed. But
we're not EA.
I don't have proof of it myself, so I can't really. I tend to wait until I have physical proof myself, confirmation of it, before I write a post, because then I can elaborate more on detail. So I always encourage
the more people that contact EA, the more it raises awareness to them and makes kind of prioritizes the issue.
Exactly.
So the only question I have for Safi at this point is that, okay, so we've established that you have some kind of a connection deep that probably goes along with your spy connectedness. We know that you're a spy. We're already done with that conversation. So when they issued the latest device for the spies, is that patching? Is that having any kind of a problem at all?
I'm not allowed to put the Simpsons on that.
Okay. I should have known.
That device is Simpsons free. I asked if I could, but they said no. So yeah, they're like, this will work on me.
So we'll kind of wrap things up with, hopefully we're back on a regular update pattern. We're gearing up towards summer. Hopefully we get a nice summer update. And they fix some more of these issues. So I know some people are still having server connectivity issues. But it's kind of funny because the way we got information about this update was we pestered the guys that work on The Simpsons for updates. Not even EA. We pestered Matt Selman, basically. Like, people asked him, and I'm convinced that enough people reached out to him that he kind of was like, "Wait, what's going on?" and kind of tried to talk to his contacts at EA to figure out when the next update was coming. I'm convinced that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. I totally agree with you, because again, my conversation with Matt Groening, he clearly did not understand that there was even a lull. He didn't know. I mean, he's that disconnected from it. So but he kept talking about the writers who play and still write for the game, and those guys are really upset. Maybe they know something. So yeah, it was interesting that Selman got enough juice that he in fact reached out to find out what was going on. But here's something I do want to say this to our lovely readers and followers. We are not EA. We do not have contact directly with EA. Everything that we had that was a remote contact, and I know somebody that programs for this game. They went black dark.
So
no reply,
we do have contacts at EA. They just don't give us information.
It's an impervious wall. They drop the cone of silence, period. And that's what they do. They're really not going to tell us anything at this point.
So I just want to read, we've got a couple reader comments, and since this is an interactive show, I do want to make sure we get to these before we leave. Not No More says, I know it's been said a lot before about the difference in the number of male versus female characters, but I only really noticed during part 3. When sending men out of the neighborhood, I had over 200 and only 44 women, although I know I'm way off on the total number of characters in the game. I'm really enjoying the new update, not only for the new content, but I finally got Nana Sophie back after losing her as part of the rollback glitch. That's nice. Mm-hmm. Rusty says, happy there's new content. It's not much, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Their timing is off a bit, as we should have had this event start before Mother's Day. That said, it gives me another chance to remember all that my mother of blessed memory did for me. Her greatest gift to me was teaching me to read at a young age. She used the daily comics page to teach me, and I still read them to this day.
Yay.
Fun fact, Northeast Ohio is home to many cartoonists such as Bill Watterson, who wrote Calvin and Hobbes, Chip Sanson, who wrote The Born Loser, Tom Baddock, Funky Wickerbean, and Crankshaft. Okay, Amy says, I'm very happy that we have new content in Springfield. I purchased Jerry right away. It's a good standard mini event. I just hope that we don't have a huge lull after this, and EA continues to drop updates into the game as often as they have been prior to this huge lull. And Christofferson says, I love any new content, even if it's teeny tiny like the Kitchen Carnival. So pleased with this mini event.
Cool.
And that's that. So we weren't a half hour, but we were probably about 40 minutes. So not too bad.
Not bad.
The next show will be in June. We're probably going to start dropping down to once a month. We'll do that in June for the summer. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see what takes us. So look for that next show sometime in June. We hope the Wookster is back with us next show. He did just celebrate his birthday. So if you haven't had a chance to, drop him a happy birthday message a couple posts back. So anyone else have anything they'd like to add?
Well, since we have some time, I'd like to recite pi to 20,000 decimal points. 3.141592. Okay.
No. All right. So thanks for watching. Thanks for reading. Thanks for sticking with us during the lull. We'll continue to bring you some entertainment posts. As I said in my musings post, some of the posts we write during downtime are still going to continue even when we have events because we enjoy writing them. They're fun for us, and we've got to keep things fun. Otherwise, we wouldn't still be doing this. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. That is the weekend, I suppose, right? We will
Monday
see
in Canada too. It's a long weekend.
Oh yes, Victoria Day, right?
Victoria Day. Yeah.
Good old Queen Victoria.
So, yeah. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, guys, and we will see everyone. Continue to tap in your game, and we will see everyone in a few weeks in the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.